Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Art with Mrs. Gately. Today we're going to be looking at the artwork of Heather Galler. Here is the sample of the piece that I'm going to make for you today. You're going to need construction paper, scissors, glue, and drawing materials. But first, let's look at Miss Galler's work. You'll notice she has a lot of bright colors, a lot of patterns, a lot of areas with dots, stripes, squares, swirls, a lot of heavy outlines, lots of patterns everywhere. So we're going to start with 3 different colors of construction paper. Make sure that they are different, and if you want to use white for one of them, that's fine. And you're going to choose one for your background, and you're going to cut a piece off of another one for the bottom part of your artwork, which will be like a tabletop. And they should fit together like this. And then we're going to start with our patterns. You're going to make a pattern or 2 on the top section using markers, crayons, colored pencils, pens, whatever you wish. Just make sure that the pattern is interesting, brightly colored, bold. And remember, a pattern is something that repeats. It can be one thing repeating, like this pattern is here, or it can be 2 things repeating, and I'm actually going to add something in a second. I just wanted to make sure that my pattern really went everywhere, went all the way to the edges of the paper, so that it kind of looks like wallpaper. Now I'm going to add a little something in the middle of these to just sort of make my pattern a little bit more interesting. Now, crayon works really well on colored paper also. So for my bottom part of the artwork, the tabletop, I didn't do it in a good spot. You're going to create another pattern. Again, any kind of pattern you want, just something that is repeating. And I used crayon for the bottom part. Now, please remember this video is sped up. That's why I'm able to do it so fast. But you're going to want to also fill this whole thing with a pattern, because this is essentially your tablecloth. And when you finish with this, you're going to glue it on the bottom of the paper, the background paper. So now you have 2 separate sections with 2 different patterns. Now we're going to grab the 3rd paper, and you're going to create your mug. Really, it's like a rectangle shape, but it should be a little bit curved at the top, not straight across, and then another curve there to make the top, the inside of the cup. And I made the bottoms of mine, I cut the corners off a little bit so it looks more like a coffee cup. I'm going to cut that out as neatly as you can. And I'm going to draw some brown liquid inside of my cup. If you are having hot cocoa, it's probably brown, but it's me, it's coffee. I also want to make sure that I'm adding the handle of the mug, and I'm using the same paper so that it looks like it belongs. I'm going to cut that out gently. I'm actually going to flip it over when I glue it down, because I don't want all of the marker lines of what I drew. So there's my mug, and I can get started with my pattern. Now I decided in this one I wanted to go with like a checkerboard kind of pattern. And in this one I'm using Sharpie because I wanted it to be very, very dark. So go ahead and create another different pattern on your mug, something that's different from your background wallpaper and that's different from your tablecloth pattern. and color it neatly. Now remember, the choices of colors and patterns are entirely yours. You can do whatever colors and patterns you like. Just remember, a pattern is one thing that repeats over and over. If it's one square in two colors or one circle repeating the same color, just remember that a pattern is something that repeats. So if you have two things that are repeating, it can be two things repeating back and forth, back and forth. We don't want to make patterns that are too complicated. We don't want to have a pattern of 17 different things because then that becomes just too much. So keep your patterns simple, one or two things repeating. Remember to use bright colors. Keep it bold. We want to be having our artwork look like Miss Geller's. So now the mug is done. I'm going to glue that on there. And I'm going to add my handle because you got to have something to pick your mug up with. And that's it. If you happen to have a white colored pencil or a white crayon, there's a little something that you can add on this to make it that much more interesting. If you don't have it, that's fine. Oh, a white gel pen would also work. Or you could glue a little bit of white cotton fluff. So if you have cotton balls at home or you have a Q-tip, you could also do this with that. But I'm putting little bitty steam lines at the top above it so that it looks like it's steaming. My cup of cocoa is so warm, it's steaming. So have fun with your mugs. Upload it to Google Classroom as soon as you are done. I would love to see it.